Everybody. There we go. Hello. Hi there, Terry James here, mindset coach and digital entrepreneur, coming to you live and proud from sunny Tunbridge Wells down here in the south of the UK. So, as the topic suggests, Uncle Bob died. Meatloaf, what a legend. So, I just want to take a moment just to give thanks, a little bit of gratitude towards the work that he's done. I remember seeing him as Bob in Fight Club. I wouldn't have even realised that he was Eddie out of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is it Rocky Horror Picture Show? Yeah, it is. Time Warp and all that. Yeah, he's been in a lot of other things as well. Just the video, the 9 to 12 minute long edition of Bat Out of Hell video. That actual album is like one of the top selling, best selling albums of all time. An absolute brilliant artist. A really, despite his persona, it's quite a gentle soul, really, and an incredible artist. So we've lost a few of them over the last few years, haven't we? A few big artists, a few big names. And so it's important sometimes just to kind of have that humility, really, and just to sort of say thank you. I remember like Prince went, David Bowie's gone, and as we get more mature, that's just life, isn't it? So without further ado, I wanted to just give a little homage out to Meatloaf, bless him. Hello there to all the channels as well. If you're watching in from Instagram, actually no, you're not on Instagram today. TikTok down here. So if you're on TikTok, throw us up a like, throw us up a question of some sort, guys. If you like current affairs, we're going to get real deep, dark, and dirty into the truths about what's going on at the moment. Because I'm a truth speaker. I'm actually doing a holistic program launch for my private community this weekend. We're going to be rolling out a launch over the next kind of 4 or 5 days, culminating in a live call next week, which will be going through the Reboot U'22 program. Whether you're a coach, consultant, healer, just been newly unplugged from the matrix, or maybe you've got your eyes open and you're starting to realize that the narrative that you were being good and were going along with is actually a bit of a fallacy, a bit of a lie, and you need to protect yourself with digital assets, as this year is actually going to be more of a pinnacle year than the years previous. And 2020 and 2021, wow, both book worthy all by themselves, right? And that's just for me, and that wasn't anything to do with the relevant situations and stuff like that. Just the stuff that was going on in the background, like crazy stuff, as well as like my own personal working with people. So that's what my program's around. I do work online. I've worked online. I've been on that space for the past 4 years. 2 years I've been working with people 2 years. The first 2 years I was working with people 1-to-1, and then I stepped into like the sort of like the group coaching, mentoring space, and that was all to do with me growing a team of affiliate marketers in my online business. And so it was only right to work and nurture and do work with a team. A lot of it's around like mindset, things that are going to hold us back, how reprogramming techniques and self-development journeys have gone on, and then a lot of the law of attraction stuff pops up all the time. So that's a little bit about me, essentially. So right now the world is falling apart, so I'm actually going through my effectively I've made notes from where we've had the post, we've had conversations, and what I've done is I've cut and pasted these guys into my messenger chat, so that I basically had a point of reference to talk to you about these important things going on in the world right now. So wherever you are, throw us up a comment, throw us up a like. If you're getting this on replay, apart from on TikTok, because everywhere else, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and the 5 places on Facebook are all live and are available for a replay, whereas on TikTok, you're not allowed. So right now, the world is falling apart. There's no denying it, is there really? Let's be real. If you're not armed, warned, and prepared, life's going to get much worse before it gets any better for us. Inflation, taxation, government interventions, pandemics, lockdowns, political hypocrisy, even the fall of the royal family, something I was reading earlier. Very, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, so very quick and out of that. But looking at the royal family, even looking at how Princess Fergie, Princess Di were kind of turned on by their own families. They were looking at the Queen isn't in good health. She's actually got, I think it's like pancreatic cancer or something, but it's not actually common knowledge. She's actually very, very ill. There was actually as well, there was this kind of like this march or demonstration to do with people in the UK wanting her eldest daughter, Princess Anne, to take over the throne from her. She'll make a better leading monarch than Charlie. Who knows, right? I think that the whole London Bridge thing's pretty much fallen down, really. She holds a lot of clout. I think once that period in our history is kind of it has gone, it opens ways for some scary new reality, and whether or not we have a royal family, because it's all gone to shit, isn't it? So it's really important time to be honest, share some real warnings of things that we know that's going on. I mean, I'm realistically and optimistically, I'm a positive person, and I look to the best in most things. I know that shit happens. I know that I personally, for my own self-development journey, I've had to look at how to use things like hypnotherapy, going within, relaxation, physical and mental strength, resilience, tenacity, and learning new things, so that I can actually believe in myself, to actually work online, to help other people, to actually build and create certain things, to have the confidence to actually present, to speak, and to talk about the painful things as well. I mean, that's integral part of it, is being honest, is showing up, and then it's not allowing the naysayers or the fear, the global fear, to actually take over and stop you from moving. I think that's what am I on about? Never mind, Jack Mozart. I'm on about decentralizing from global fear, my man. Talking about us being the best versions of ourselves, and actually being positive and being prepared as we move into this new digital age where everything else isn't safe and it's falling around us. At any other time, you can have an employer turn around and say, can't afford you, or, oh, this restrictions come out and so therefore you can't go to work, and it's fucked a lot of people up. It's had a lot of fallout on people's mental health. What's been going on, and that hasn't even really been looked at, let alone how this affects the working class, how people that are self-employed, the working class people, it's almost like they want to cut that out of society. So I believe that entrepreneurs can make a real difference in this world, and they're the ones which will be basically innovating and pivoting during these hard times. Entrepreneurs are all in the business of people helping people, essentially. So whether that's through the education system, through knowledge, it paves the way basically for entrepreneurs to be problem solvers, and they will face challenges head on, and they'll eat shit, and they'll eat problems for breakfast, whereas other people want to stay comfortable and they'd rather just be told to do whatever, go to work, start at 9, finish at 5. I mean, that's painful. I know, I've done it for many, many years. It's soul destroying doing that work, unless you really like your job, and then fair play to you if you do. But 80% of people don't like their jobs. So get your balls out. Okay, mate. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't read out loud. But first, to get over these challenges, we've got to get real. Look at inflation is huge at the moment. In reality, inflation in proportionate to what we're actually earning, or as a paid job, what we're going to earn through the minimum wage, is absolute bullshit. It's like 10-15% according to experts, inflation at the moment. CPI says it's 5, but that's bullshit. It's not. It's much bigger than that. You would know you're paying a lot more post lockdown to you did pre-COVID for things like food, fuel. Just basic things have gone up. I mean, I think the main thing is like people were paying, well, where I am, it's because it's quite rich areas, maybe 4.5, 5 quid for a pint. Up north, it'll be a lot less than that. But then when we came out of lockdowns and what have you, it was like 6-7 quid. So it's gone up by like 20%. Food's gone up. Electricity's gone up by 5%. Other fuel assets are inflated as well. But that's contradictory, really, because they're just saying that there's like a cap on interest rates and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not too much into all this financial shit, but it is relevant, and it is relevant for the ordinary people to know that there are extraordinary tools out there online that we can use to create assets for ourselves, to create future income security. Basically, The reason why all this stuff is all fucked, if you didn't know, is because the government can basically just print money off, and it devalues the currency, and then other things have to be put up to levy that, and then of course then everything's taxed, and everything's tax, which is fucking certain. So now I'm going to talk to you about the solution, and one thing that I can do and you can do is be realistically optimistic about the future. However, I must be a purveyor of truth, and if mass inflation is basically a theft of your money, and a massive tax is daylight robbery of your money, so tax in the UK, VATs are exactly the same thing. It's all robbing. 20% is the VAT in the UK. It hasn't gone down since 2008, which is our last recession. Corporation tax has gone up if you're a business owner. I've had businesses and I know about these kind of taxes. You have to pay basically from before pre-COVID to now post. It's gone up by about a third. Dividends, national insurance has gone up. Then for the employer as well as the employee, it's just a huge tax hike everywhere. And so tax is theft essentially, and inflation theft. Everyone is stealing your money these days. And what are you doing about it? We've basically gone from the £20 is the new £100. I remember the days when before I moved to Spain in 2008, I was basically in a position where I knew that every time you left your house, it cost 20 quid. Now you leave your house, it costs you £100. So now let's talk about the royal family quickly. Prince Andrew has been banished for being a nonce. Basically, we all knew he was a nonce. Epstein and all the other elitists and people running countries and running big corporations, they're all part of like a global elite special group of people. But the royal family have banished Prince Andrew from his honours, military rights, responsibilities have been taken away from him. Harry and Meghan, they long ago, well, I suppose about a year ago, so not that long ago, massive scandal in the royal family. They were on Oprah. She was bad mouthing the fucking Queen. Don't care who you are, that's dangerous play, right? Remember, she's a fucking queen at the end of the day. So Fergie, Diana, Royal Institution of the UK, they were big. They were great for world tourism, for charities. They were the most famous women in the world, most photographed and followed and papped and all that kind of thing at the time. They were brought down and ruined by their own family. So then we find ourselves in this position where we're in government lockdowns, restrictions, mandates, soft lockdowns, tax hikes, lack of support for small business, travels disruptions, isolations, all the while they're having lockdown breaking parties, and all these other little breaking news items. Make no mistakes, this is all going on right now, and it was always going on at the beginning, at the very, very beginning. And now, as things slowly come out, it's harder and harder to deny these facts, isn't it? And it can't be denied. It can't be meditated away with spiritual positivity or more bullshit. No, people are standing up. People are saying they're not happy about certain things. And so therefore, we have a certain amount of responsibility as human beings, don't we, to do what's right. So now, it feels weird to say that I'm an entrepreneur. I help and other people to start and scale business. I actually help people through my own knowledge and seeking of knowledge for better financial knowledge. I'm a positive guy. I'm an educator. I am someone that likes to motivationally educate other people. I try now doing different platforms to get more reach, leverage, so I can bring people into my own personal group, the Personal Freedom Movement. That is so that then we can then get on private calls and we can then decentralize away from the main narrative and the main central networks. Why do we do that? Well, that's so that we can basically have freedom of speech. And we've got the choice to actually go to these different places. People are actually fighting for you digitally these days because of AI, because of 5G, because of the Web 3.0, because of the metaverse. Mark my words, towards the end of the year, well, even not this year, it will probably take, I predict 2004, there will basically be a war between the virtuality world and the real world. And it will be the last war that we'll ever see. And the virtuality, the tech war will win. You know, we're not talking about Skynet and the fucking Terminators, that kind of stuff, but we're talking about how people will, you know, it's a bit like Wall-E, the film Wall-E, where all the fat people are on the cruise ships kind of thing, floating in the sky, and they're just essentially they're like batteries, and they're just being fed and watered by tech. Okay, it's all going that way, and you know, we're talking about hundreds of years will come before we really destroy the planet that much. But now is the fundamental start of it. So you can comply with that. You can be aware of this stuff's going on. You can look into digital assets. You can start pivoting into new ways of creating digital income streams for yourself. You can look at living your best life, being happy and wealthy and healthy, and not succumbing to this global fear, not succumbing to basically it's going to be 170 variant, Delta variant, and it will probably mutate 1,000 times. And later on this year, after some restrictions have been let go, some countries are really iron-fisted it and have really turned around to some people and said, you can't go to work, you can't do this, you can't do that. It looks like here in the UK, they're actually easing stuff right up, which is good. But to what end? To what end will then someone else come along and say, "Oh my God, now we're in big trouble, and this new thing has happened." It will just be one thing after another. So I believe you can take this as an opportunity. I believe that you can make a difference. I know I can certainly make a difference by doing some of the things that I'm doing. We can love the market of the capitalist system. We can love that, or we can comply with it. But it's the land of opportunity, especially for entrepreneurships. While all this shit's going on, it's just about being warned. Being warned. Now's not the time, like most people have been in the past, to be an ostrich with head up, arse down. It's not going to change. Nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. So you've got two choices. You can succumb to it, or you can succeed. What can you learn to do to succeed? Are you ready to start thriving rather than surviving? Do you hide out, or do you go full out and try and make a difference? Do you cut back, or do you scale up? I believe the best thing to be doing right now, and what I'm personally doing, is building digital assets, building a following, making sure that the masses that know you, that like you, trust you, social media, standing up for what you believe in, what your values are, turning content into cash flow, information into income. And these are all actually, this little bit actually is all like the buzzwords that my mentor Rob Moore says. So he's like, turning your content into cash flow, your information into income, your reach into revenue, your followers into finances, and leveraging this disruption that's happening right now around us anyway. So, you know, there's going to be a new world order, great reset. You'll own nothing and you will be happy. The decimalisation of middle classes, the small business to be over, high streets, just buying from shops, basically, as we saw yesterday, the dawn of the very first humanless shop, where it was basically self-scan and go. I think they only have people in to clean at night and to stock the shelves. But there will be a one global power in the end. This is what people want. This is what people feared. But essentially, it kind of has to go that way, because otherwise the world's going to kill itself. You've got the Russians trying to take over Ukraine. That's going to go on for a long time. That's something that could really go nastily sour. You know, you look towards sort of like 2006, 2007. Let's be really careful that no one's going to press a nuke or anything and take out like somewhere like Germany. Can you imagine that? There's Europe fucked, and most of Asia. So there's a huge movement happening against all this stuff, and it's called decentralization. It's a huge and a unique opportunity for other people to go out and create wealth for themselves, or to pivot into new ways of doing things. You know, there's new cryptos. You know, I believe that the crypto and the Bitcoin will crash very soon, and it will make way for something else. That's going to happen very soon, I think. I think that there's things like altcoins and these other coins that are all being minted and manufactured by people, by banks. The banks can very easily just distribute all their wealth into one of these new coins, which will basically cripple and topple the rest of them, and then makes way for them to turn around and say, let's have a one world currency or something like that. So it's massively known as the decentralization movement, a rebellion against globalization. the decentralization of social media, of finance, of Wi-Fi, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, Web 3.0, the metaverse. These are all massive opportunities that people should be stepping into. So it's now is not the time just to survive, but thrive in these challenging and uncomfortable times. Build your digital assets, create recurring income, and essentially just live your best life and not succumb to this, start disengaging from global fear. So I'm not going to talk too much more about that digital stuff, but I will just like to say, if you want to get a bit closer to people that are talking and working within these digital spaces, people that are creating money online, people that have got their freedom, whether it be financially or just location wise, so they can do and be wherever and with whoever they want to, then join the personal freedom movement. You can join by, there's on the banner across the bottom on the Facebooks and all that kind of thing, you've got it there, the personalfreedom.terrylifestyle.com. You can join the personal freedom movement, and then that essentially is the hub for we can get like minds, get conversations going, people that are interacting, giving value in that group are the first people that then get picked up and brought into private chats, into collaborations with other people that are working within the digital space, whether they're healers, coaches, whether you're just on the first stages of self-development, whether you're being employed your whole life and now you're realizing actually you need to start learning some new things, you can step into a new way of being, then that's super, super important and powerful for you as well. So I'm going to jump off. Bye-bye, TikTok. Bye-bye, TikTok. Bye-bye, TikTok. Oh. Everything falls down. I hope you're well. Thank you for everybody who's jumped on, who's listening in. So throw us up a hashtag replay. I'm going to go out for a nice little walk now before it gets dark. Then I've got to come back and do some of my homework, and I've got to do some posting, and I've actually talked to a virtual assistant as well about some graphics and stuff that I've had being, well, supposed to have been done by now, but I'm ending up doing them myself because they haven't done what I've wanted, essentially. But never mind, it's all cool. I've got time. And then tomorrow I'm going to have a family day, and it's the launch of Reboot U'22, the Decentralisation Movement, my efforts to actually bring people along to a new way of being, a new way of sharing information. It's all going live, baby. Well, you can get on board with it. There's 3 ways we're hitting it: mind, body, and soul. It's a holistic program, positivity program, and it encompasses everything that I've been learning, everything, all the best bits of everything that I've done with one-to-one clients, and what people from when I've done surveys and masterclasses around positivity, what people's feedback have been and what people have really wanted. So there's an opportunity going to be there for a handful of people to work with me closely as we create some assets. And you're going to learn exactly all the stuff and all the courses and all the resources that I've had to help me. You're going to get first dibs. You're going to get the scoop on all of that stuff. And then there's opportunities for other people to stay in contact, to get involved with, whether it be the mind, the body, or the soul. It's going to be split into 3 different categories of motivational audio education. There's going to be some live workouts. There's going to be live demonstrations. But the main thing is going to be that opportunity to work closely together so that we can create assets that other people are really going to need, like, and love. And we can do that together and be the first one to be creating that stuff, learning how we create it so that you can go out and do it yourself. Truly, truly valuable and powerful. So throw us up a hashtag replay, and I'll look forward to catching up with you all soon. Take care.